I always say, come see, come ça, and go my way, come see, come ça. Since you are gone, no one delights me. Since you are gone, no one excites me. And I go on, come see, come ça. Midnight till dawn, come see, come ça. But should we meet, that would excite me. And should you smile, that would delight me. I live again, to love again. But until then, come see, come ça.
Baron, please sit down, please. This is a historic occasion, one that must be properly celebrated. The waiter will bring out my special balls.
Splendid.
Cigar, my private brand.
Ah, very nice. You know, all this reminds me of one of those enchanted mornings from the Arabian Nights when thieves would foregather in the marketplace. Thieves and pashas.
Tell me about yourself, huh?
Now, where should I begin?
Waiter!
Yes?
Will you get rid of that woman, please?
She's singing the Belle Polonaise.
I didn't ask for the program, I asked you to get rid of her. As you were saying, Baron.
Well, until I was 30, my life was relatively uncomplicated. It mostly involved selling off the various estates that my father had left me one by one.
Do you hear?
3 years ago, I parted with my last farm, and 2 years ago, my last mistress. And now, all that is left of me is my...
Pansy, sir?
Run along.
As I was saying, all that is left of me is my good name, yeah?
Your name is precisely the name that we need on our board of directors.
How flattering.
You will understand that when I tell you mine has been a very different experience. I came up from the bottom. My mother spent her life bent over a washtub in order to send me to school. I am eternally grateful to her, of course, but I must confess that I can no longer remember her face. It was no doubt beautiful, but when I try to recall it, all I can remember is the part she invariably showed to me, her rear.
How touching.
When I was thrown out of school, the fifth and last time, I decided to see what made the world go round. I ran errands for an editor, a movie star, a financier. I began to understand a little of what life is, and then, one day, in the subway, I saw a face. My rise in life dates from that day.
Really?
One look at that face and I knew. One look at mine and he knew. That's when I made my first 1,000, passing off a box full of counterfeit notes. A year later, I saw another such face. It got me a nice berth in the narcotics business. Ever since then, all I do is to look for such faces. And now here I am, president of 11 corporations, director of 52 companies, and beginning today, chairman of the board of the International Combine, which you have been so good as to accept a post.
Cheers.
Looking for something.
Did you drop this?
I never drop anything.
Then this €100 note isn't yours.
Give it here.
How do you know that it's yours, then, huh?
Any and all €100 notes, Baron, are mine.
Well, Mr. President, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. What exactly is the purpose of our new company? Or is that an indiscreet question?
Indiscreet? Not at all. Merely unusual. As far as I know, you're the first member of the board of directors ever asked such a question.
Well, do we plan to exploit a commodity or a utility or a...
My dear Baron, I haven't the faintest idea.
Well, if you don't know, then who does?
No one. And at the moment, it's becoming a trifle embarrassing. Since we are now close business associates, I must confess that we are in a bit of a pickle.
I was afraid of that. The stock issue isn't going well, then?
No. On the contrary, the stock issue is going beautifully. Yesterday morning, we opened to the general public with 500,000 shares. By 10:05, they were all snatched up by bomb. By 10:20, when the police finally arrived, our offices were in shambles. Windows smashed! Doors torn off their hinges. You never saw anything so beautiful in your life. And this morning, our stock is being quoted at 124 over the counter with absolutely no sellers, and the orders are still pouring in.
Well, what seems to be the trouble, then?
The trouble? The trouble is that we have a tremendous amount of capital and not the faintest idea of what to do with it.
Huh. You mean to tell me that all those people are fighting to own stock in a company that has no object?
My dear Barrett, do you imagine that when a customer buys a share of stock, that he has any idea of getting behind the counter or digging a ditch?
Sure.
A stock certificate is not a tool like a shovel. It's not a commodity like a pound of cheese. What we sell the customer is not a share in the business, but a view. The Elysian Fields.
I don't know where that
A financier is a creative artist. Our function is to stimulate the imagination. We are poets, yes?
Yes, but does not a poet need some field of objectivity in which to stimulate?
No, not at all. What you need for that is a name that will stir the pulse like a trumpet call, set the brain awhirl like a movie star, inspire reverence like a cathedral, united, general, international, consolidated. Yes, that of course has been used. But that's what a corporation means.
Well, do we have such a name then?
So far, all we have is a blank space. But in that space, a name must be printed. This name must be a masterpiece. If I seem a little nervous today, it's because somehow I've racked my brains and it still hasn't come to me. Look at that, just like the answer to a prayer. You see? There's one. What a beauty. Oh.
Yes, indeed. You mean that girl?
No.
She's very nice.
No, not the girl. That face. You see, the one that's drinking water.
Ooh. No, that face, that's not a face, that's a tombstone.
It's a milestone. It's a signpost. Is there pointing a way to steal or wheat or phosphates? This is what we have to find out. He sees me. He'll be over.
And when he does?
He will tell me what to do.
You mean to tell me that business is done in such ways that you would trust a complete stranger with a matter of that importance? Well,
My dear Baron, I trust neither my wife, nor my daughter, nor my closest friend. My confidential secretary has no idea where I live. But a face like that, I would trust my inmost secrets. Though we have never laid eyes on each other, that man and I know each other to the depths of our souls. He's my brother. He's myself. You'll see, he'll be back. Good. What is this? This is a conspiracy? I don't want your envelopes. Take them away. Waiter!
Yes?
What is this this woman trying to say?
Only Irma understands her, sir.
Irma? Who's Irma?
Irma! Irma! It's the waitress inside, sir. Irma!
Yes.
These gentlemen
Will
would
you
like you.
please tell this woman to get out of here, for God's sakes? What is she trying to say anyway?
She says it's an exceptionally beautiful morning, sir.
Who asked her?
She said it was nicer before the gentleman stuck his face in it.
Call the manager.
Shoelaces, neckties, perfect for business or casual attire.
I feel like I could use a shoelace.
No.
Black, white, or
No.
neon instead.
No.
Oh, colorful.
I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, anybody's guess.
How about one of each then?
Oh,
Therein.
thank you so much.
Although I have no say in your personal life, none that is except to set the amount of your director's fees and eventually assign a Rolls Royce for your use. Therefore, I must ask for you not to purchase anything from that woman.
How can I resist so reasonable a request? But I really must ask, what difference does it make anyway?
Aaron, now that you're with us, you must understand that between us and this irresponsible garbage lies an impenetrable barrier. We have no dealings whatsoever with them.
Yes, but without us, the poor devils would starve.
No, they won't. They expect nothing from us. They have a clientele all their own. She exclusively sells shoelaces to those that wear no shoes, just as she sells neckties to those that wear no shirts. That's why these street hawkers can afford to be insolent, disrespectful, and independent.
Ugh.
They don't need us. They have a world all their own.
I said sell. So just.
My broker.
Damn it.
When did she leave?
Mr. President, my heartiest congratulations. What a day. What a day.
Baron von Tamar of my board of directors, my broker.
Nice to meet you, my dear. Very nice.
What's happened? What's happened?
Listen to this. 10 o'clock this morning, the market opens. 500,000 shares issued at par. Par value 100, quoted on the curve at 124. We start buying at 126, 127, 129. It's going up, up, up. 131, 132, 133, 138, 141, 141, 140.
No. Any explanation would only confuse you.
10:45, we start selling short on rumors of a Chinese cybercrime. Market bearish. 141, 138, 133, 132. It's going down, down, down. 102. We start buying back at 93. 11 o'clock. Rumors denied. 95, 98, 101, 106, 124, 141. And by 11:30, we've got it all back. Net profit, €3.5 million.
Classical. Oh, pure. And how many shares did we reserve for each member of the board?
50 is agreed.
Seems a bit stingy, don't you think?
Right? 3,000.
That's better. You get it?
I'm starting to, yes.
Now comes the exciting part. Listen carefully. With 35% of our funded capital under Section 36, I buy 32,000 National Amalgamated, which I immediately reconvert into 150,000 General Consols, which I set up as a credit against a deposit of 150,000. Two's preferred. Then I turn around and deposit it as collateral against 15 billion to buy Eastern Hanneken, which I immediately turn into Argentine wheat, realizing 136% of the original investment, which naturally accrues as capital gains and not as corporate income, thus saving 12 million in taxes. And then I immediately convert our 25% cotton reserve into lignite, and as our people swing into action in London and New York, I beat up the price on textiles from 26 to 92 to 114 to 203 to 306 to 404.
Here, take it, please.
What? Who are
my life savings, every cent. I put it in your hands.
Ugh, can't you see we're busy?
Please, I beg you, it's my only chance. Please don't turn me away.
All right. What do you want?
But perhaps a receipt?
A receipt.
Oh, people like us don't give receipts for money, my dear man. We take them.
Of course.
Funny old man.
There you are, sir. I've been looking for you. You follow me this way.
Champagne for everyone!
Why does she insist on repeating those same 2 lines like a parrot?
What else can she do? She doesn't know anymore, and the song's been out of print for years.
Well, couldn't she sing a song that she knows?
She likes this one. She hopes if she keeps singing the beginning, someone will turn up to teach her the end.
Tell her to move on. We don't know the song.
Nor do I, my dear sir, nor do I. And yet, I find myself in exactly the same predicament. I remember only 2 lines of my favorite song as a child, a mazurka also, in case you're interested.
I'm not.
Why is it, I wonder, one always forgets the words of a mazurka? I suppose they just get lost in that damnable rhythm. All I remember is this. From England to Spain, I have drunk, it was bliss.
Red wine and champagne and many a kiss.
Oh my God, it all comes back to me now. Red lips and white hands and warm hearts I have known.
Where the nightingales dwell.
Where the nightingales dwell.
And to each one I've whispered my own.
And to each one I've said farewell.
Farewell!
Farewell! Farewell! But there's one I shall never forget. One that's engraved in my heart. Thanks very much.
This isn't a cafe, it's a circus!
Well,
I need a name.
I need 50,000
For a corporation.
for a woman.
Immediately.
4 evenings.
Something.
Unusual.
Something.
Provocative.
Something.
Correct. 50,000 cash.
I'm listening.
International substrate of Paris. Ink.
That's it! Pay him off! Now, what does it mean?
Means what it says. I'm a prospector.
Prospector? Allow me to shake your hand. Baron, you are in the presence of one of nature's noblemen. Shake his hand. Baron von Tamar. It is this man, my dear Baron, that smells out in the very bowels of the earth those deposits of metal or liquid on which can be founded the only social unit in which our age is capable. Corporation. Please, sit down, please. Now that we have a name.
You need a property.
Precisely.
I have one.
Claim?
Terrific.
Foreign?
French.
French.
French?
In France?
In Paris.
In Paris? You've been prospecting in Paris?
For ladies, no doubt.
For gold.
Oil.
He's crazy.
He's inspired! He's
You
inspired!
think I'm crazy? They thought Columbus was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Prospecting for oil in Paris.
How is it possible?
It's not only possible, it is certain.
Tell us!
Don't know, my dear sir, what treasures Paris conceals. Paris is the least prospected place on Earth. We've been over the rest of the planet with a fine-tooth comb. But has anyone ever thought of looking for oil in Paris? Nobody. For me, that is.
Jeez.
No, just a practical man. I use my head.
No. Why has nobody ever thought of this before then, huh?
Because, my dear sir, the treasures of the earth are not easy to find nor to get at. They are invariably guarded by dragons. Doubtless, there is some reason for this. For once we have dug out and consumed the eternal ballast of the planet, the chances are it will shoot off on some irresponsible tangent and smash itself up in the sky. Well, that's the risk we take. Anyway, it's not my business. A prospector has enough to worry about.
Oh, sure, like fleas and tarantulas and...
Worse than that, sir. Civilization.
Does that annoy you?
Civilization gets in our way all the time. In the first place, it covers the earth in towns and cities, which are damned awkward to dig up when you want to see what's underneath. Now, it's not only the real estate people. You can always do business with them. It's human sentimentality. How do you do business with that?
I see what you mean.
They say that where we pass, nothing ever grows again. What of it? Is a park any better than a coal mine? What's a mountain got that a slag tile hasn't? What would you rather have in your yard? An almond tree or an oil well?
Well,
Exactly! But what's the use of arguing with these fools? Imagine the choicest piece of land you ever did see for an excavation, and what do they put there? A playground. For children! Civilization!
show us the point in which you would like to start digging, and we'll take care of the rest. Even if it's in the middle of the Louvre. Where's the oil?
Perhaps you think it's easy to make an accurate fix in an area like Paris where everything conspires to throw you off the scent. Women, perfume, flowers, history. You can talk all you like about geology, gentlemen, but an oil deposit has to be smelled out. I have a good nose. I'll go further. I have a phenomenal nose. The minute I catch the right whiff, the minute I'm on the scent, a fragrance rises from what I take to be the spiritual deposits of the past, and I'm completely at sea. Take this very spot, for example. This very point right here.
Right here in the Chaillot?
Right under here.
Good God.
Oh, it's taken me months to locate this spot.
Now, what in the world makes you think that this
Do
is
you know this place, Baron?
Oh, well, I've been sitting here for 20 years.
Did you ever drink the water?
Drink the water! Good God,
It's plain to see that you are no prospectors. A prospector is addicted to water, is a drunkard to wine. Water, gentlemen, is the one substance from which the earth can conceal nothing. It sucks out its innermost secrets, brings them to our very lips. Anyway, beginning at Notre Dame, where I first caught the scent of oil 3 months ago, I worked my way across Paris glassful by glassful, sampling the water, until at last I came to this cafe. It was here just 2 days ago. I took a sip. My heart began to thump. Was it possible that I was deceived? I took another, a third, a fourth, a fifth. I was trembling like a leaf. But there was no mistake. Each time that I drank, my taste buds thrilled to the most exquisite flavor known to a prospector. The flavor of petroleum.
Ooh, waiter! Waiter! Some water in 4 glasses. Hurry! Hurry! This round is on me. And if I may propose a toast, international substrate of Paris ink!
Yes, I think
Get it?
it's,
it tastes queer?
No, that's it! To the unpracticed palate, it tastes queer. But the taste buds of the expert?
Now, there's still something I don't understand.
Yes.
Well, this cafe doesn't have its own well, does
Of
it?
course not. This is Paris water.
And why should the water here taste any differently than anywhere else?
Because, madam, the pipes that carry this water pass deep through the earth, and the earth just here is soaked with oil. That oil permeates the pores of the iron and flavors the water it carries. Ever so little, yes, but quite enough to betray its presence to the sensitive tongue of the specialist.
Amazing.
Now, I don't say everyone can taste it, no, but I can detect the presence of oil in water that has passed within 15 miles of a deposit. In special circumstances, 20.
Phenomenal.
And so, here I am, with the greatest discovery of the age on my hands. The blasted authorities won't let me dig a single well unless I show them the oil. Now, how can I show them the oil if they won't let me dig? Completely stymied!
A man like you?
That's what they think. That's what they want. Have you noticed the strange glamour of the women this morning? And the quality of the sunshine? And the extraordinary convocation? Vagabonds buzzing about protectively like bees around a hive. Do you know why it is? Because they know it's a plot to distract us, to turn us from our purpose. Well, let them try. I know that there is oil here, and I am gonna find it, even if I have... Now, shall I tell you my little plan?
By all means.
All right, so Say, what incarnation is that?
Are my bones ready, Irma?
Oh, there won't be much today, Countess. We had broilers.
Oh.
Can you wait while the gentleman inside finishes eating?
And my gizzard.
I'll try and get it away from him.
Well, if he eats my gizzard, save me the giblets. They'll do for the tomcat that lives under the bridge. He does like a few giblets now and again.
Yes, Countess.
God!
Waiter!
Yes?
Please ask that woman to move on.
Sorry, sir, but this is her cafe.
Her cafe. She's the manager of this cafe?
No, she's the Madwoman of Chaillot.
Mad. What do you mean she's mad?
Who said she's mad?
You just said so yourself.
Look, sir, you just asked me who she was, and I already told you. What's mad about her? She's the Madwoman of Chaillot.
Call a policeman.
Did you find my feather boa?
Not yet, Countess. 3 scarves, but no boa.
It's been 5 years since I lost it. Surely you've had enough time to find it by now.
Take one of these, Countess.
A feather boa like that doesn't just vanish, you know. A feather boa 9 feet long.
How about this blue one?
With my green ruffle and my peacock feathers? You're joking. Let me see the yellow. How does it look?
Terrific.
Very elegant.
Oh, thank you, Betty.
I wish to make a complaint.
Against whom?
Against you. Against her. Against that street singer, that shoelace peddler, that lunatic of a woman, or whatever it is that you call her.
Mr. President, come this way for a second, sir. Mr. President, you must calm yourself down, my good man.
I will do nothing of the sort. Baron, the first thing that we must do is to get rid of these people. Look at them. every size and shape and period of history imaginable. It's utter anarchy. I tell you, sir, the only safeguard of order and discipline in the modern world is a standardized worker with interchangeable parts. We solve the entire problem of management. Here, the manager.
Yes, yes.
There, one composite grudge, grunting or sweating all over the world. Oh, just wait. How beautiful. How easy on the eyes. How restful the conscience.
Yes, yes.
Order.
Yes.
Symmetry.
Yes.
Balance.
Yes.
But instead of that, what?
What?
Here, in the Chaillot, the very citadel of management, these insolent phantoms of the past come to beard us with their ravish individualism, with the right of the voiceless to sing, or the dumb to make speeches, or their trousers to have no seats, or their bosoms to have dinner bells.
Well, yes, but do these people really matter?
Wherever the poor are happy, or the servants are proud, or the mad are respected, our power is at an end. Look at that. That waiter, that street singer, that madwoman. Do I get that sort of respect? And suppose that I, president of 12 corporations, 10 times a millionaire, would have put a gladiolus in his buttonhole and begin to yell, "Are my bones ready, Irma?"
Come sit down, Mr. President.
You see,
I'm starting to, yeah.
now, as you were saying,
We were discussing the plan.
yes, of course, yes.
All right.
Careful, careful. She's watching.
Do you know what a bomb is?
I'm told they explode.
Exactly. And you see that black building there across the river? Do you happen to know what that is?
I do not.
That is the office of the city architect. That man has stubbornly refused to grant me a permit to drill for oil anywhere within the city limits of Paris. I've tried everything with him. Influence, bribes, threats. He says I'm crazy. Now,
Oh, God. What is this one trying to sell us?
Nothing but health, sir, or rather, the health of the feet. But remember, as the foot goes, so goes the man. May I present myself, Dr. Percival Montague III, British Navy, retired. Formerly a specialist in the extraction of ticks and chiggers. At present specializing in the extraction of bunions and corns. In case of sudden emergency, Marshal, the waiter will furnish my home address. My office is here. This table. Weekdays, 12 to 5. Thank you very much. Oh,
Your vermouth, doctor?
my vermouths. How are the gallstones today, Marshal?
Fine. They rattle like anything.
Splendid, splendid. Good morning, Countess. How is the floating kidney? Still afloat. Splendid, splendid. As long as it floats, it can't sink.
This is impossible. Let's move somewhere else.
No, it's nearly noon.
Yes, it is. 5 to 12.
In exactly 5 minutes' time, you're gonna see that city architect blown up, building and all.
Enough right there.
No one to blame but himself. Yesterday noon, he got my ultimatum. He's had 24 hours to think it over. No permit? All right. Within 2 minutes, my agent will drop a little package in his mailbox. 3 minutes after that, precisely at noon.
Oh, you prospectors certainly use modern methods, don't you?
The method may be modern. The idea is old. It has always been necessary to slay the dragon.
Oh.
Wait. I guarantee you after this, the city architect will be more understanding. The new
sitting a bit close for comfort, huh?
No, don't worry. And above all, don't stare. We may be watched. What at noon?
What is it?
Oh my God! Something's happened!
Oh, that's Harry.
Yeah, my agent.
What?
Say, officer, what do you got there?
Drowned man.
He's not drowned, his clothes are dry. He's been clubbed!
Clubbed is also correct. He was just going to jump off the bridge when I came along and pulled him back. I clubbed him naturally so he wouldn't drag me under. Safety manual rule number 5. In cases where there is danger of being dragged under, it is necessary to render the subject unconscious by means of a sharp blow.
Did you have to?
Yes, I did.
Stupid idiot! What did he do with the bomb? Oh, this is what comes of employing amateurs.
You don't think that he's gonna give you away?
Don't worry. Say, officer, what do you think you're doing?
Life-saving, artificial respiration, first aid to the drowning.
But he ain't drowning.
But he thinks he is.
Well, you'll never bring him around that way, partner. That only works for those who drown in water. It don't work for those who drown without it.
What am I supposed to do? I've just been sworn in. It's my first day on the beat. I can't afford to get into trouble. I've got to go by the book.
Perfectly simple. Take him back to the bridge where you found him and throw him in. That way, you can save his life. And you'll get a medal. And then you'll only be fined for slugging an innocent man.
What do you mean, innocent? He was just going to jump when I grabbed him.
Any proof of that?
Well, I saw him.
Written proof? Who witnessed it?
No, but-
Well, then don't waste time arguing. Quick! Before anybody notices. Take him back to the bridge, throw him in, and dive in after him. It's the only way out.
But I don't swim.
You'll learn to on the way down. Before you were born, did you know how to breathe?
Oh, well, all right.
One moment, please. I don't like to interfere, but it is my professional duty to point out that medical science has definitely established the fact of intrauterine respiration. Consequently, this officer, even before she was born, knew not only how to breathe, but also how to cough, hiccup, and belch.
So what if she did? How does it concern you?
On the other hand, medical science has not established the fact of intrauterine swimming or diving. Under the circumstances, officer, we are forced to the opinion that were you to dive in, you'd probably drown.
You think so?
Oh,
Who asked your opinion anyway?
Pay no attention to that quack, officer!
Quack! This is not a medical matter, it is a legal issue. It's her first day. She's new. We're only trying to help.
Oh, she's probably afraid of the water. Nothing of the sort. Officially, I'm afraid of nothing. But I always follow doctor's orders.
Ah, you see, officer, when a child is born...
Why does she care when a child is born? She has a dying man on her hands. Officer, if you would like my advice, I really think...
It so happens I care a lot about when a child is born. It's part of my duty to aid and assist any woman in childbirth or labor.
Could you imagine?
Doctor, is it true what they say that when you have twins, the firstborn is considered to be the youngest?
That is quite correct. And what is more, if the twins happen to be born at midnight on December the 31st, the eldest is an entire year younger. He does his military service a year later. That is why you have to keep your eyes open, and that is why a queen always gives birth before witnesses.
Oh, God, the things the policeman is supposed to
I think we
know.
all better be moving along.
I'll take care of him.
I'll see you later.
Doctor, what's really worrying me is this. Don't you think it's a bit risky for a woman to marry after...
Officer! Come quick! Oh, there are 2 women calling for help on the street. Avenue Wilson.
2 women at once, standing up or lying down?
I don't know. Come see for
Oh,
yourself.
you better take the doctor with you.
Yes. Come along, doctor, come along. You tell him to wait there till I get back. Doctor, come along.
I'm gonna go too. Maybe there'll be a crowd and I can settle some shoelaces. Is he dead, Marcia?
Hold this mirror to his mouth. If the cloud's over, then
The cloud's over.
then he's alive.
Just a sec. Oh, look, he's opened his eyes.
Oh, how beautiful.
Irma. Irma. Irma.
Coming. Coming.
Oh, you're looking at my iris. Isn't it beautiful?
Very.
The sergeant was kind enough to say that it becomes me. But I no longer trust his taste. Yesterday, the doctor gave me a lily and he said it didn't suit me.
It's beautiful.
Oh, he'll be very happy to hear that you agree with him. He's really quite sensitive. Sergeant!
No, please don't call the police.
Oh, but I must. I'm afraid I hurt his feelings.
Let me go, ma'am.
No, stay where you are. Sergeant!
No, please let me
No,
go.
no. You let someone go, you never see them again. I let Charlotte Mazamet go, and I never saw her again.
My head.
Let Adolphe Berthaud go, and I was holding him, and I never saw him again.
Oh, God.
Except for once, 30 years later at the market. Oh, he had changed a great deal. He didn't recognize me. He snatched a melon right from under my nose, the only good one of the year. Oh, here we are. Sergeant!
I'm in a hurry, Countess.
Yes, with regard to the iris, this young man agrees with you. He says it suits me.
There's a man drowning in the Seine.
He's not drowning in the Seine. He's drowning right here because I'm holding him tight. The way I should have held Adolphe Berthaud. He's much better looking than Adolphe Berthaud, wouldn't you say?
How would I know?
I've shown you his photograph. The one with the bicycle.
Oh, yes, the one with the hair lip.
I've told you 100 times. Adolphe Berthaud had no hair lip. That was a scratch in the negative. What are you doing?
I am taking down the drowned man's name, given name, and date of birth.
Don't you think that's going to keep him from jumping in the river? Oh, don't be silly, Sergeant. Put that book away and try to console him.
I should try to console him.
When people want to die, it is your job as guardian of the state to speak out in praise of life, not mine.
I should speak out in praise of life.
I assume you have some motive for interfering in people's attempts to kill each other and rob each other and run each other over. If you think life has some value, tell him what it is. Well, go on.
All right, I will. Now, look here, young man.
His name is Roderick.
My name is not Roderick.
Yes, it is. It's noon. At noon, all men become Roderick.
Oh, except Adolphe Berthaud.
In the days of Adolphe Berthaud, Sergeant, we were forced to change the men when we grew tired of their names. Nowadays, we're more practical. Every hour on the hour, all names are automatically changed. The men remain the same. But you're not here to discuss Adolphe Berthaud, Sergeant. You're here to convince the young man that life is worth living.
It isn't.
Roderick!
Quiet! Now then, what's the idea of jumping off the bridge anyway?
The idea was to land in the river. Roderick doesn't seem at all confused about that.
Now, how can I convince anybody that life is worth living if you keep interrupting all the time?
I'll be quiet.
First off, Mr.
Roderick.
You have to realize that suicide is a crime against the state. And why is it a crime against the state? Because every time anybody commits suicide, that means one soldier less for the army, one taxpayer less for the Commonwealth.
Sergeant, isn't there something about life that you really enjoy?
That I enjoy.
Well, surely in all these years you must have found something that makes life worth living. Some secret pleasure or passion. Don't blush, tell him about it.
Who's blushing? Well, yes, naturally, I have my passions like everybody else. Fact is, since you asked, I love to play casino.
Oh,
And if the gentleman would like to join me by and by when I get off duty, we can sit down to a nice little game in the back room with a nice cold glass of beer. Wants to kill an hour, that is.
he doesn't want to kill an hour. He wants to kill himself. Well, is that all that the police force has to offer by way of earthly bliss?
Oh. You mean, all that?
You're not earning your salary, Sergeant.
Cancel that.
I defy anybody to stop dying on your account.
Go ahead if you think you can do any better, but you won't find it easy.
Oh, this is not a desperate case at all. A young man who has just fallen in love with someone who's fallen in love with him.
She hasn't. How could she?
Of course she has. She was holding your hand, just as I'm holding it, when all of a sudden... Did you ever happen to know Marshal Canrobert's niece?
How could he know Marshal Canrobert's niece?
Oh, a great many people knew her when she was alive. Broderick! Stay.
You see, you won't do any better than I did.
No? Sit! Let's bet. I will bet my iris against your, gold tie clasp. Right? Roderick, I know very well why you tried to drown yourself in the river.
You don't at all.
That prospector wants you to commit a horrible crime.
How did you know that?
He stole my boa. Now he wants you to kill me.
Not exactly.
Oh, it would be the first time they tried, but I'm not so easy to get rid of, my boy.
Take it easy there, Sergeant.
I'm busy saving a drowning man.
They can't kill me because I have no desire to die.
You're fortunate.
Oh, to be alive is fortunate, Margaret. Of course, in the morning when you first get up, it does not always seem so very gay. When you take your hair out of the drawer and your teeth out of the glass, you have to feel a little out of place in this world. Especially if you've just been dreaming that you're a little girl on a pony searching for strawberries in the woods. But all you need to feel the call of life again is a letter in your mail giving you your schedule for the day. Your mending, your shopping, a letter to your grandmother you never seem to get around to. And so, once you have washed your face in rose water and powdered it, not with this awful rice powder they sell nowadays, which does nothing for the skin, but with a cake of pure white starch. And you put on your pins, your rings, your brooches, bracelets, earrings, and pearls. In short, when you are dressed for your morning coffee, and you've had a good look at yourself, not in the glass, naturally, it lies, but in the side of the brass gong that used to be owned by Admiral Courbet. Then, Roderick, you're armed, you're strong, you're ready. You can begin again.
Oh, madam.
After that, everything is pure delight. First, your morning paper. Oh, my dear. Oh, not these current sheets full of lies and vulgarity. I always read the Galwan, the issue of March 22nd, 1952. It's by far the best. It has some delightful scandal, some excellent fashion tips, and of course the last-minute bulletin on the death of Leonie Levant. She used to live next door, poor woman. And when I learn of her death every morning, it gives me quite a shock. I'd gladly lend you my copy, but it's in tatters.
Well, could we find him a copy in some library?
I doubt it. And then, when you have taken your fruit salts, not in water, say it's water that gives you gas. I take mine with a bit of spiced cake. And then, in sunlight or in rain, Chaillot calls. It's time to get dressed for your morning walk. This, of course, takes a great deal longer. Without a maid, it's impossible to do in under an hour, but with your girdle and your garters and your stockings and your petticoats, all of which hook in the back. I asked Madame Landvan a while ago if she couldn't fit the girdle with zippers. She was very charming, but she declined. She felt it would spoil the style.
I know a place where they put zippers on anything.
I think Landvan was best, but I really manage quite well, Martial. You see, what I do now is I hook everything up in front, and then I twist it around to the back. It's really quite simple. Then you choose a lorgnette, and then the usual, you must search for the bullet in the prospector's stole. Oh, I know it was he. He didn't dare look me in the eye. Then all you need is a rubber band for your parasol. I lost the catch on mine the day that I struck the cat that was stalking the pigeon. Oh, it was worth it. That day, I earned my salary.
Countess, if you could use it, I found a nice umbrella catch the other day with a cat's eye in it.
Thank you, Randall. They say these eyes sometimes come to life, filled with tears. I would be frightened.
Go on, madam. Please do go on.
So, life is more interesting to you now, is it? You see how beautiful it is.
Oh, what a fool I've been.
Oh, then I begin my rounds. I have my cats to feed and my dogs to pet and my plants to water. I need to see what the evil ones in the district are up to. The ones who hate humans, the ones who hate plants, and the ones who hate animals. I watch them as they sneak off to put on their disguises in the morning to the baths and to the beauty parlors and to the barbers. Oh, they can't deceive me. And when they come out again with blonde hair, bad toupees, to pull up my plants and poison my dogs, I'm there and I am ready. All you need to do to break their power is to cut across their path from the left. It's not always easy. Life's moves swiftly. But I have a good long stride and I generally manage. Right, my friends?
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, and the flowers this year have been marvelous. The butcher's dog on the route say that one that wretch tried to poison, in spite of that wretch, he is friskier than ever.
That dog had better watch out. He has no license.
He doesn't seem to feel the need for one.
The Duchess of the Rochefort's whippet is looking awfully thin.
Oh, what can I do? She bought that dog, full grown, from a kennel where they didn't know its right name. A dog without its right name is bound to get thin.
Well, I have a friend who knows a lot about dogs.
Oh.
An Arab.
Oh, we have him call on the Duchess. She receives Thursdays, 5 to 7. So, you see, Broderick, that is life. Does it appeal to you now?
It seems marvelous.
Sergeant, my tie clasp. And that's just the morning. Wait until I tell you about my afternoon.
All right, Pierre. Come along now.
I'm perfectly all right here.
I said come along now.
I'd better go, madam.
No.
It's no use. Let go of me.
Madam,
There.
you oblige me by letting my friend go.
I would not oblige you in any way.
Well, then allow me to oblige you.
Oh, man! Oh! Hey! Hey! Oh!
You stay where you are. That man is not going to take you anywhere. In the first place, I shall need you in a few minutes to take me home. I'm all alone here, and I'm very easily frightened.
Arrest this woman!
What is the trouble here?
She won't let this man go!
Why should she?
It's against the law for a woman
detain a man on the street?
Suppose it's her son whom she's found again after 20 years.
Or her long lost brother. The Countess is not so
No,
old.
officer, this is clearly a case of disorderly conduct. Irma, what's the mute saying?
The young man is in danger of his life. He mustn't go with him.
Oh, what does she know?
She knows everything.
Officer, take your number.
Take his number. It's 2133. Adds up to 9. It'll give you luck.
Countess, between ourselves, what are you holding him for anyway?
I'm holding him because it's very pleasant to hold him. I've never really held anybody before. I'm making the most of it. And as long as I hold him, he's free.
I am giving you fair warning, Pierre.
And I'm holding him because Irma wants me to hold him. Because if I let him go, it will break her heart.
All right, you. Move on. No one's holding you. You're blocking traffic. Move on!
I have your number. You regret this, Pierre.
Thank you, Countess.
They're blackmailing you, are they? What have you done? Murdered somebody?
No,
Stolen something?
no.
Well, what then?
I forced a signature,
Whose signature?
my father's, to a note.
Oh, and this man is holding the paper, I suppose.
We promised to tear it up if I did what he wanted, but I couldn't do it.
The man is mad. Does he really want to destroy the whole neighborhood?
He wants to destroy the whole city.
Oh, fantastic.
It's not funny, Countess. He's mad, but he's powerful and he has friends. In 3 months' time, you may see the whole city covered by a forest of derricks and drills. The machines are already drawn up and waiting.
But what are they looking for? Have they lost something?
They're looking for oil. They're convinced that Paris is sitting on a lake of oil.
Suppose it is. What difference does it make?
They want to bring the oil to the surface.
Well, that's just silly. That's no reason to destroy a city. What do they want with this oil?
They want to make war, Countess.
Oh dear. Well, let's forget about these horrible men. The world is beautiful. It's happy. That's the way God made it, and no man can change it.
Countess, if only you knew.
If only I knew what.
Shall we tell her now? Shall we tell her?
What are you hiding from me?
Nothing, Countess. It's you who are hiding.
You tell her. You've been a pitchman. You can talk. Please.
You're frightening me, my friends. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Countess. There was a time when old clothes were as good as new. In fact, they were better. Because when people wore clothes, they gave something to them. You may not believe it, but right this minute, the highest priced shops in Paris are selling clothes that were thrown away 30 years ago. They're selling them for new. That's how good they were.
Well,
Countess, there was a time when garbage was a pleasure. A garbage can was not what it is now. It smelled a little strange. It was because it was a little confused. There was everything there. Sardines, iodine, cologne, roses. An amateur might jump to a wrong conclusion, but to a professional, it was the smell of God's plenty.
well,
Countess, the world has changed.
nonsense. How could it change? People are the same, I hope.
No, Countess, the people are not the same. The people are different. There's been an invasion, an infiltration from another planet. The world is not beautiful anymore. It's not happy.
Not happy. Is this true? Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because you live in a dream, Countess, and we don't like to disturb you.
But how could it have happened?
Countess, there was a time when you could walk around Paris and everyone you met was just like you. A little cleaner, maybe, or dirtier, perhaps. Or smiling, or angry, but you knew them. They were you. Well, Countess, 20 years ago, one day on the street, I saw a face in the crowd. A face, you might say, without a face. The eyes, empty. The expression, not human, not a human face. It saw me staring, and when it looked back at me with its gelatin eyes, I shuddered, because I knew that to make room for this one of us must have left the world. A while later, I saw another, and then another, and since then I've seen hundreds come in, yes, thousands.
Describe them to me.
You've seen them yourself, Countess. Their clothes don't wrinkle. Their hats don't come off. When they talk, they don't look at you. They don't perspire.
Do they have wives? Do they have children?
They buy the models from shop windows, furs and all. They animate them by a secret process, then they marry them. Naturally, they don't have children.
What work do they do?
They don't do any work. Wherever they meet, they whisper, they pass each other 1,000-euro notes. You see them standing on the corner by the stock exchange. You see them at auctions in the back. They never raise a finger, they just stand there. In theater lobbies, by the box office, they never go inside. But whenever you see them, things are not the same. I remember well, the time when a cabbage could sell itself just by being a cabbage. Nowadays, it's no good being a cabbage anymore unless you have an agent and pay him a commission. Nothing is free to sell itself or give itself away. These days, Countess, every cabbage has its pimp.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Little by little, the pimps are taking over the world. They don't do anything, they don't make anything, they just stand there and take their cut. It makes a difference. Look at the shopkeepers. Do you ever see one smiling at a customer anymore? No, certainly not. Their smiles are strictly for the pimps. The butcher has to smile at the meat pimp. The florist at the rose pimp. The grocer at the fresh fruit and vegetable pimp. It's all organized down to the slightest detail. There's a pimp for bird seed, a pimp for fish food. That's why the cost of living keeps going up all the time. You buy a glass of beer. It costs twice as much as it used to. Why? Why? 10% for the glass pimp, 10% for the beer pimp, 20% for the glass of beer pimp. That's where our money goes. Personally, I prefer the old-fashioned type. Some of those men at least were loved by the women they sold, but what feelings can a pimp arouse in a leg of lamb? Pardon my language, Irma.
Oh, well, that's okay. She doesn't understand it.
So now you know, Countess, why the world is no longer happy. We are the last of the free people of the earth. You saw them looking us over today. Tomorrow, the street singer will start paying the song pimp, and the garbage pimp will be after me. I tell you, Countess, we're finished. It's the end of free enterprise in this world.
Is this true, Robert?
I'm afraid it's true.
Did you know about this, Irma?
All I know is the concierge says that faith is dead. It is! I've stopped taking bets over the phone.
The very air is different, Countess. You can't trust it anymore. If I throw my torches too high, they go out.
The sky pimp puts them out.
My flowers don't last overnight now. They wilt.
Have you noticed? The pigeons, they don't fly anymore.
They can't afford to. They walk.
Well, they are a lot of fools. And so are you. Why didn't you tell me about this at once? How can you bear to live in a world where there is unhappiness? Where a man is not his own master? Are you cowards?
No!
Well, all we have to do is get rid of these men.
And how do you suppose we get rid of these men? They're too strong.
The sergeant will help us.
Sergeant? Me?
There are a great many of them, Countess. The mute knows them all. They employed her once years ago because she was mute. They fired her because she wasn't blind. They're all connected like the parts of a machine.
So much the better. We shall drive the whole machine into a ditch.
It's not that easy, Countess. You'll never catch these birds napping. They change before your very eyes. I remember when I was with the detectives. You catch a president, poof, he turns into a trustee. You catch him as trustee, poof, he is no longer trustee, he's an honorary vice chairman. You catch a senator dead to rights, and he is minister of justice. You go after the minister of justice, and he is chief of police. And there you are. There you are. No longer in the detectives.
He's right, Countess. They have all the power and all the money, and they're greedy for more.
They're greedy? Ah. Then, my friends, they're lost. Well, if they're greedy, they're stupid. If they're greedy, don't worry about a thing. I know exactly what to do. Robert, by tonight, you will be an honest man. Artist, your pinks will dry up. Shoveler, your torches will stay lit. Your beer will flow freely, Marciano, and the world will be saved.
What are you going to do?
Do you have any kerosene in the house, Robert?
Yes, would you like some?
Just a little. In a dirty bottle with some mud. Oh, and some mange cure if you haven't heard. You take a letter? Singer. Go and find Madame Constance. Ask her to be at my house at 2 o'clock. I'll be waiting for her in the basement.
Yes, Countess.
You may tell her we have to discuss the future of mankind. That's sure to bring her.
Yes, Countess.
Oh, and ask her to bring Mademoiselle Gabrielle and Madame Josephine with her. Do you know how to get in to speak to Madame Constance? You ring twice, and then you meow 3 times like a cat. Do you know how to meow?
I'm much better at barking.
You'd better practice meowing, Humphrey. Oh, incidentally, I believe Madame Constance knows all the verses to your mazurka.
Oh.
Remind me to ask her.
Yes, Countess. Meow.
Yes.
Here you are, Countess.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, ready?
She's ready.
My dear Mr. What's his name?
They're all called Mr. President.
Oh. My dear Mr. President, I have personally verified the existence of a spontaneous outcrop of oil in the cellar of number 21 Rue de Chaillot, which is at present occupied by a dignified person of unstable mentality. This explains why, fortunately for us, this discovery has so long been kept secret. If you should wish to verify the existence of this outcrop for yourself, you may call at the above address at 3 p.m. today. I am herewith enclosing a sample so that you can judge the quality and the consistency of the crude. Yours very truly, Roderick. Can you sign the prospector's name?
You want me to?
Yes. One forgery wipes out the other.
Who was to deliver it?
Oh, the concierge, of course, on her bicycle. And after you have delivered it, run over to the prospector's office. Leave word that the president expects him at my house at 3 o'clock.
Yes, Countess.
Oh. Well, I shall leave you now. I have many pressing things to do. Among them, I need to press my velvet gown.
Oh, but this only takes care of 2 of them, Countess.
Didn't the mute say they're all connected like the works of the machine?
Yes.
Then if one comes, the rest will follow, and we shall have them all. My boa, please.
The one that's stolen, Countess.
Naturally, the one the prospector stole.
It hasn't turned up yet, Countess, but someone has left an ermine collar.
Real ermine?
Looks like it.
Ermine and Iris were made for each other. Let me see. Roderick, you shall escort me. No. Oh, dear, you still look pale. I have an old bottle of chartreuse at home. I have a glass each year. Last year I forgot. You shall have it.
If there's anything I can do.
Oh, there are so many things that you can do. There are all the things that need to be done in a room in which no man has been for 30 years. You can untwist the cord on the blind, let in a little sunlight for a change. You can remove the mirror from the wardrobe door and deliver me once and for all from the old harpy who lives in it. Oh, you can let the mouse out of the trap. I'm tired of feeding it. Well, each to his assignment, my friends. I'll see you later. Oh, look at it's rabbit. Your arm, Valentine.
Valentine?
It's just struck one, and one home and become Valentine.
Well, permit me.
Or Valentino. It's obviously far from the saying, isn't it, Irma? But they have that much choice.
I hate ugliness. I love beauty. I hate meanness. I adore kindness. It may not seem so grand to some to be a waitress in Paris. I love it. A waitress meets all sorts of people. She observes life. I hate to be alone. I love people. But I have never said I love you to a man. Men try and make me say it. They put their arms around me. I pretend I don't see it. They pinch me. I pretend I don't feel it. They kiss me. I pretend I don't know it. They take me out at night and make me drink, but I'm careful. I never say it. If they don't like it, they can leave me alone. Because when I say I love you to him, he will know just by looking in my eyes that many have held me and pinched me and kissed me. I have never said I love you to anyone in the world before. Never. No. I love you.
Irma!
Coming.
Now, Irma, I'm not sure when the ladies will be coming, but once they're here, we'll give you their privacy, so do not come. All right?
Just let me know what you need. Now and then we see that memories are made of glass. All our lovely pretty memories, they fade, they crash. How I wish that you would hold me. You loved me so. Love me just the way you told me. Don't let me go. Now and then we see our memories dance round the room. All our lovely pretty memories, they fade too
Bouillabaisse. Soufflé. Vichyssoise. Oh,
The sewer man is here.
oh, thank goodness, Irma, show it
Thank
out.
you, yes, yes.
How do you do, Mr. Sewerman? But why are your boots in your hand instead of on your feet?
Etiquette, Countess, etiquette. Yes.
How very American. I understand that nowadays Americans apologize if their gloves happen to touch your hand, as if the skin of a human is nicer to touch than that of a sheep, especially if their hands are sweaty.
Well, my feet never sweat, Countess.
How very nice. Don't stand on ceremony. Here, put your boots on.
Huh?
Put them on.
Oh, thank you.
You must have a very low opinion of the upper world from what you see of it. The way people throw their filth into your territory is absolutely scandalous. I burn all my refuse and I scatter the ashes. The only thing I put down to drain is flowers. Did you see a lily flow by this morning? Fine. Perhaps you didn't notice.
Oh, we notice a lot more down there, Countess, than you might think. You'd be surprised at things we notice. There are lots of things that were obviously intended for us. Little gifts, you might call them. Sometimes a brand new razor, sometimes the Brothers Karamazov. Thanks for the lily, Countess, a very sweet thought.
You shall have, tomorrow you shall have an iris.
Ooh.
Yeah. But now, to come to the point, I have two questions that I need to ask.
Yes, Countess.
First, troubling me.
Uh-huh.
Tell me, is it true that the sewermen of Paris have a king?
No, Countess. That's one of those fairy tales out of the Sunday supplements. It just seems those writers can't keep their minds off the sewers. It fascinates them. They think of us as moving around in our underground canals, like gondoliers in a Venice, and it sends them into a fever of romance. And things they say, they say here we have a race of girls down there who never see the light of day. It is completely fantastic. The girls naturally come out every Christmas and Easter. And orgies by torchlight with gondolas and guitars, with troops of rats that dance as they follow the piper. What nonsense! The rats are not allowed to dance. No.
No?
No.
But,
Of course we have no king. Down in the sewers you will find nothing but good Republicans.
no queen?
No. We may run a beauty contest down there once in a while, or quite a merry queen of the man, yes. But no queen, what do you call a queen? And as far as these swimming races they talk about, possibly once in a while, in the summer, in the dog day.
I believe you. I believe you. Now tell me, do you remember that night I found you here in my cellar looking very pale and strange? You are half dead, as a matter of fact, and I gave you some brandy.
Yes, Countess?
And you told me that night, you promised me that if I ever should need it, you would tell me the secret of this room.
The secret of the moving stone?
Yes, I need it now.
Only the king of the sewermen know the secret.
I'm quite certain of that. I know most secrets, of course. Matter of fact, I have 3 magic words that will open any door that words can open. I have tried them all in various tones of voice, and they don't seem to work. This is a matter of life and death.
Look, Countess.
Oh, but heavens! Where does that staircase go?
Nowhere.
Oh, but it must go somewhere.
They just go down.
Oh, let's go see.
No! Countess, never again. That time you found me, I had a pretty close shave. I kept going down and around, and down and around, and down and around for an hour. A year. I don't know. No, once you start, there is no end to it. Your head begins to turn. You are lost. Once you start going down, there is no coming up.
Well, you came up.
I am a special case. Besides, I had my tools, my ropes, and I came in just in time.
But you could have screamed or shouted.
You could fire off a cannon.
Now, who would build something like that?
Paris is old, you know. Paris is very old. Yes.
Oh, you don't suppose by any chance that there's oil down there?
There's only death down there.
Oh, I should have preferred a little oil. Or a vein of gold. Or emerald. You're sure there's nothing?
Not even rats.
How do I open this door?
No, simple. Yes. To open, you slide here. And to close it, you slide there. Now, there's 2 of us in the world that knows this secret.
Oh, I won't remember it long. Would it be all right if I said my magic words while I open it?
It is bound to help.
Oh.
Madame Constance and Mademoiselle Gabrielle are here.
Oh, show them in, Irma. Thank you very much, Mr. Sewerman.
Oh, like that time about the steam laundry that's supposed to be running in my sewage day and night? Oh, yes.
Thank you very, very much.
I can assure you that it is pure imagination. They never work at night.
Aurelia! Oh, Aurelia! Don't tell us they found your featherboa.
You don't mean Adolphe Bertel has proposed at last? I knew he would.
How are you, Constance? It's a question of the future of the human race.
Do you think it has a future?
Oh, don't make silly jokes. Listen to me. Today we must make a decision which may alter the fate of the world.
Couldn't we do it tomorrow? I want to wash my slippers. Dickie, please.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh, we haven't a moment to waste. Where is Josephine? Well, might as well start our tea. But the moment Josephine comes...
Josephine is sitting on her bench in front of the palace waiting for President Wilson to come out. She says she's sorry, but she positively must see him today.
Equal to pity. I wish she were here to help us. She has a first-class brain.
What is it, Dickie? You want to sit in Aunt Aurelia's lap? Well, all right, darling, go on.
No, stay. Constance, we love you as you know, and we love Dickie. But this is a serious matter, so let's stop acting like children for once.
And what does that mean, if you please?
It means Dickie. You know we love him and fuss over him, just as if he were still alive. He's a sacred memory. We would not hurt his feelings for the world. But please, don't dump him in my lap when I am settling the future of mankind. His bed is in the corner. He knows where it is, and he can just go and get it.
So you are against Dickie too? You too?
Constance, I am not in the least against Dickie. I adore Dickie. But you know as well as I do that Dickie is only a convention with us. Oh, it's a beautiful convention, but it doesn't have to bark all the time. Besides, you spoil it. Oh, remember the time that you went to visit your niece and you left him with me? We got on marvelously. He didn't bark, he didn't tear anything. He didn't even eat.
You didn't even feed him! Oh!
But if you are with him, one can pay attention to nothing else. I am not going to take Dickie in my lap at a solemn moment like this. Not for anything in the world. And that is that.
Constance, dear, I'll take Dickie in my lap. He loves to sit in my lap, don't you,
Kindly
Dickie? Come
stop
on, Dickie,
putting
come
on
on.
angelic airs, Gabrielle. I know you very well. You're much too sweet to be sincere. Besides, there's plenty of times I make believe Dickie is here when really I've left him home. And you cuddle and pet him just the same.
I adore animals.
If you adore animals, you ought not pet them when they're not there. It's a form of hypocrisy.
Now, Constance, Gabrielle has every bit as much right.
Gabrielle has no right to do what she does. You know what she does? She invites people to come to tea with us. People who we know nothing about. People who exist only in her imagination.
You think that isn't in existence?
I don't invite them at all. They come by themselves. What can I do?
You might introduce us.
If you think they're only imaginary, there's no point in you meeting them, is there?
Of course, they're imaginary. Who likes to have imaginary people staring at one, especially strangers?
They're really very nice.
Tell me, Gabrielle, are they here now?
Am I to be allowed to speak? Or is this going to be like that argument about vaccinating Josephine's cat where we never got to the subject at all?
Never, 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 I'll never give my consent to that. I'd never do a thing like that to you, Dickie.
Oh, we
Sweet.
wouldn't do
Oh,
that to you,
no.
Oh,
We love you,
we're both in tears. Impossible creatures. And with the fate of humanity hanging in the balance. All right, all right. Stop crying! I will take Dickie in my lap.
No, he won't go now. How can you be so cruel? Don't you suppose I know about Dickie? Don't you think I'd rather have him here, alive and woolly and frisking around the way he used to? You have your Adolf, Gabrielle has her birds, but I have only Dickie. Do you think I'd be so silly about him? If it wasn't that it's only by pretending that he's here all the time, I'd get him to come sometimes. really? Next time I won't bring him.
No, now let's not get all worked up over nothing. Come along, Pete.
No, he won't know. Besides, I didn't bring him today.
Irma! You didn't bring him today. Ah, very well then. Irma, please be sure the door is locked.
What do you mean by locked? Who is coming?
If you would let me get a word in, you would know by now. A terrible thing has happened. This morning, this very morning, exactly at noon.
Oh,
goodness,
Be
I wonder
quiet.
what it is.
This morning, exactly at noon, thanks to a young man who drowned himself in the Seine. Oh, now that I think of it, Constance, do you know a mazurka called La Belle Polonaise?
Yes, Aurelia.
Could you sing it right this instant?
Yes, Aurelia.
All of it?
Yes, Aurelia, but who is interrupting now? Aurelia.
You're right. Well, this morning, exactly at noon, I discovered a horrible plot. There's a group of men who intend to knock down the entire city.
Is that all?
I don't understand, Aurelia. Why would men want to knock down the entire city? It was they themselves who put it up.
You are so innocent, my poor Gabrielle. There are people who want to destroy everything. They have the fever of destruction. Even when they pretend to be building, it's only in order to destroy. When they put up a new building, they quietly knock down 2 old ones. They build cities in order to destroy the countryside. They destroy telephones, space with telephones, and they destroy time with aeroplanes. Humanity is now dedicated to the task of universal destruction. I am speaking, of course, primarily of the male sex.
Aurelia, must you talk sex in front of Gabrielle?
There are 2 sexes.
Gabrielle is a virgin, Aurelia.
Oh, she can't be that innocent. She feeds canaries.
I think you're being very cruel about men, Aurelia. Men are big and beautiful, and they're as loyal as dogs. It's true, I prefer not to marry, but I've heard excellent reports from friends who've had a chance to observe them closely.
Oh, my poor darling. You are still living in a dream. One day you will wake up as I have, and then you will see what is going on in the world. The tide has turned, my dear. Men are changing back into beasts. They know it, and they no longer hide it. Oh, there was once such a thing as manners. I remember when the hungriest was the last to pick up his fork, and the one with the broadest grin was the one who needed most to go. It was such fun, keeping them grinning like that for hours. But they no longer pretend. Well, just look at them snuffling their soup like pigs and tearing at their meat like tigers and crunching their lettuces like crocodiles. A man doesn't take your hand anymore. He gives you his paw.
Would that trouble you so much if they were to turn into animals? Personally, I think it's a good idea.
I would love to see them like that. I think they'd be sweet.
It might be the salvation of the human race.
You'd make a fine rabbit, wouldn't you?
I?
Oh, naturally. Well, you don't think it's only men that are changing. You change right along with them, husbands and wives together. We are all one race, you know.
You think so. But why would my poor husband have to be a rabbit if he were alive?
Do you remember his front teeth? When he used to nibble his celery.
I am happy to say I remember absolutely nothing about him. All I remember on that subject is the time the Father La Cordière tried to kiss me in the park.
Yes, yes, of course.
And what does that mean, if you please? Yes, yes, of course.
Constance, just this once, look us in the eye and tell us truly, did that really happen or did you read about it in a book?
Now I'm being insulted.
Oh, no, no, no. We promise faithfully to believe it all over again afterwards, don't we, Gabrielle? But tell us the truth this once.
Oh, how dare question my memory. Suppose I said your pearls were false.
They were.
I'm not asking what they were, I'm asking what they are. Are they false or are they real?
Everyone knows that little by little, as one wears pearls, they become real.
And it's exactly the same with memories.
Yeah, let's not waste more time.
I
must
think
go on.
Gabrielle is perfectly right about men. There are still plenty who haven't changed a bit. There's an old senator who bows to Gabrielle every day when he passes her in front of the palace, and he takes off his hat each time.
Yes, it's perfectly true, Aurelia. He's always pushing an empty baby carriage, and he always stops and bows.
Don't be taken in, Gabrielle. It's all make-believe. And all we can expect from these make-believe men is itself make-believe. Well, they give us face powder made of stones, and sausages made of sawdust, shirts made of glass, and stockings made of milk. It is all a vulgar pretense. And if that is the case, imagine what passes today for virtue and sincerity and generosity and love. I warn you, Gabrielle, don't let this senator with the empty baby carriage pull the wool over your eyes.
Oh, he's really the soul of courtesy. He seems to be very correct.
Oh, they are the worst. Gabrielle, beware. He will make you wear black riding boots. What? While he dances the can-can around you, singing God only knows what filth at the top of his voice.
My.
The very thought makes the blood run cold.
Do you think that's what he has in mind?
Of course. Men have lost all sense of decency. They are all equally disgusting. Well, look at them in the evenings, sitting around their tables in the cafes, working away in unison with their toothpicks, hour after hour, digging up roast beef, veal, and onion.
They don't harm anyone that way.
Then why do you barricade your door and make your friends meow like cats before you let them come up? Incidentally, Gabrielle and I must make an interesting sight, yowling together on your doorstep like a couple of tomcats.
There is no need at all for you to yowl together. One would be quite enough. And you know perfectly well why I have to do it. It's because there are murderers.
I don't quite see what keeps murderers from meowing like anybody else. But why are there murderers?
Why? Because there are thieves.
And why are there thieves? Why is there almost nothing but thieves?
Because they worship money. Because money is king.
Ah, now we have come to it. Because we live in the reign of the golden calf. Did you know that, Gabrielle? Men now publicly worship the golden calf.
Have the authorities been notified?
The authorities do it themselves, Gabrielle.
Why? Has anyone talked to the bishop?
Nowadays only money talks to the bishop. And so you see why I have called you here today. The world has gone mad. Unless we do something, humanity is doomed. Constance, have you any suggestions?
Well, I know what I always do in a case like
You
this.
write a letter to the Prime Minister.
Yes, he always does what I tell
Does he
him.
ever answer your letters?
He knows I prefer him not to.
Ah.
It might excite gossip. Besides, I don't always write. Sometimes I wire. The time I told him about the Archbishop's Frigidaire, it was by wire, and they sent a new one the very next day.
There was probably a commission in it for someone. Have you a suggestion, Gabrielle?
Yes.
Now, how
The
can she
canaries
tell
don't
you
go
before she's consulted her voices?
Oh, yes. I will go right home and consult them. Then we can meet again after
There
dinner.
isn't time for that, Matthew. Besides, your voices aren't real voices.
How dare you say a thing like that?
But where do your voices come from? Still your sewing machine?
No, not at all. They've moved into my hot water bottle, and it's much nicer that way. They
To ask a hot water bottle for advice is just silly. What is a hot water bottle?
So much.
No. All we have to consult here is our own judgment.
Very well then. Why don't you tell us what you have decided? Since you're asking our opinion, you have doubtless made up your mind.
Yes, I have thought it all out. All I really needed to discover was the source of the infection. Today I found it.
Where?
You'll find that out soon enough. I have baited a trap. In a few minutes, the rats will be here.
Rats!
No, don't be alarmed. They're still in human form.
Ew, heavens. What are you going to do with them?
That is just the question. Suppose I get these wicked men all here in my cellar. Have I the right to exterminate them?
To kill them?
Yes.
That is not a question for us. You will have to ask Father Bredet.
I have. Yes. One day in confession, I told him, frankly, that I have a secret desire to destroy all wicked people. And he said, by all means, my child. And when you're ready to go into action, I shall lend you the jawbone of an axe.
That is just talk. You get him to put that in writing.
What is your scheme, Aurelia?
That's a secret.
It is not that easy to kill them. Let's say that you had a tank full of acid just waiting for them. You could never get them to walk into it. There is nothing as stubborn as a man when you want him to do something.
Leave that to me.
But if they're killed, they're bound to be missed and then will be fined. They fine you for every little thing these days.
They won't be missed.
I wish Josephine were here. Her sister's husband is a lawyer. She knows all about these things.
Do you miss a cold when it's gone? Or the germs that caused it? When the world is well again, do you think it will regret its illness? No. It will stretch itself joyously and it will smile. And that is all.
Just a moment. Gabrielle, are they here now? Yes or no?
What is the matter with you now?
I'm simply asking Gabrielle if her friends are in the room or not. I have a right to know.
I'm not allowed to say.
I know very well they are. I'm certain of it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be making faces.
May I ask what difference it makes to you whether Gabrielle's friends are in the room or not?
Just this. If they're here, I'm not going to say another word. I am certainly not going to commit myself in a matter involving the death sentence in the presence of third parties, whether they exist or not.
You are being very rude to my friends.
Constance, you must be mad. Or are you so stupid as to think that just because we are here alone, there's no one with us? Do you consider us so boring or repulsive that of all the millions of beings, imaginary or otherwise, that are rolling around and prowling around in space, there's not one who might enjoy spending a little time with us? On the contrary, my dear, my house is full of guests, always. They know that here they have a place in the universe where they can come when they're lonely and be sure of a welcome. For my part, I am delighted to have them.
Oh, thank you, Aurelia.
Aurelia, you know
I know
perfectly
perfectly
well
well that at this moment, the entire universe is listening to us, and that our every word echoes to the remotest star. To pretend otherwise is the sheerest hypocrisy.
Then why do you insult me in front of everybody? I am not mean, shy. I feel timid about giving an opinion in front of such a crowd. And furthermore, if you think I am so bad and so stupid, why did you invite me in the first place?
I will tell you, and I will tell you why, disagreeable as you are, I give you the biggest piece of cake and my best honey. It's because every time you come, there's someone with you. And I don't mean Dickie. Someone who resembles you like a sister, except that she's young and lovely. And she sits modestly to one side and smiles tenderly at me all the while that you are bickering and quarreling and never says a word. That is the Constance to whom I gave the cake that you gobbled. And it is because of her that you are here today. And it is her vote that I need you to cast at this crucial moment and not your own, which is of no importance whatever.
I am leaving.
I'll be so good as to sit down. I can't let her go yet.
No, this is too much. I am taking her with me.
Oh, Madame Josephine.
Oh, thank you.
We're saved, my dear friends. Today, once again, I waited for President Wilson, but he didn't come out.
Oh, you'll have to wait a good deal longer. He died before you were born.
Oh, well, I have plenty of time.
Josephine, in anyone else, these extravagances might seem a little childish. But a person of your judgment doubtless has her reasons for wanting to speak to a man to whom no one would listen when he was alive. We have a legal question for you.
Oh.
Suppose you had all the world's criminals here in this room.
In this room?
Yes. And suppose you knew a way to get rid of them forever.
Forever?
Yes.
Oh.
Would you have the right to do it?
Well, why not?
Oh, exactly
But
my choice.
Josephine, so many people.
Oh, de minimis non curat elect.
What?
The more there are, the more legal it is. It's impersonal. It's even military. It's the cardinal principle of battle. You get all your enemies in one place, and then you kill them all together at one time. Because if you had to track them down one by one in their homes and in their offices, you'd get tired. Sooner or later, you'd give up. I think your idea is very practical, Aurelia. I can't imagine why we never thought of it before.
Well, if you think it's all right to do it.
By all means. Your criminals have had a fair trial, I suppose.
Trial?
Well, certainly. You can't kill anybody without a trial. That's elementary. No man shall be deprived of his life, liberty, and property without due process of law.
But they deprive us of ours.
Well, that is not the point. You are not accused of anything. Every accused, man, woman, or child, has the right to defend himself at the bar of justice.
Dickie! Constance, hush!
Even animals. Before the deluge, you will recall, the Lord permitted Noah to defend his fellow mortals, and evidently he stuttered. You know the result. On the other hand, Captain Dreyfus was not only innocent, he was defended by a marvelous orator. The result, precisely the same. So you see, in having a trial, you run no risk whatever.
But if I give them the slightest cause for suspicion, I will lose them.
Well, there's a simple procedure prescribed in such cases. You can summon the defendants 3 times, mentally if you like, and if they don't appear, the court may designate an attorney who will represent them. This attorney may then argue their case to the court in absentia, and a judgment can be rendered in contumatio.
But I don't know any attorneys, and we only have 10 minutes.
Hurry, Josephine,
Yes,
hurry.
well, in case of emergency, it is permissible for the court to order the first passerby to act as attorney for the defense. A defense is like a baptism, absolutely indispensable, but you don't have to know anything to do it. Ask Irma to get you somebody, anybody.
The mute.
Oh, well, that's cutting you down a bit fine. That might be questionable on appeal. Come on.
How about the police sergeant?
Oh, he won't do. He's under oath to the state.
Oh, Irma, who's out there?
All our friends, Countess. They're the rag picker.
Oh, send down the rag picker.
Do you think it is wise to have all those millionaires represented by a rag picker?
Oh, it is a first-rate choice. Criminals are always represented by their opposites. Murderers by someone who obviously wouldn't hurt a fly. Rapists by a member of the League for Decency. Experience shows it is the only way to get an acquittal.
Oh, but we mustn't have an acquittal. That would mean the end of the world.
Justice is justice, my dear.
Oh.
And you know that in order to get a trial, the sergeant has to be
Greetings, Countess. Greetings, ladies. My most sincere compliments.
Has Irma told you?
She said something about a trial?
Yes. You have been appointed attorney for the defense.
Terribly flattered, I'm sure.
You do realize how much depends on the outcome of this trial?
Do you know the defendants well enough to undertake the case?
I know them to the bottom of their souls. I go through their garbage every day.
And what do you find there?
Mostly flowers.
Oh, it's true, you know, the rich are always surrounded by flowers.
How beautiful.
Are you trying to prejudice the court?
Oh, no, Countess, no.
We must have a completely impartial defense.
Of course, Countess, of course. Permit me to make a suggestion.
Will you preside, Josephine?
Yes. Instead of speaking as attorney, suppose you let me speak directly as defendant.
Why?
It will be more convincing, and I can get into it more.
That is excellent suggestion. Motion granted.
We don't want you to be too convincing.
Impartial, Countess, impartial.
Well, have you prepared your case?
How rich am I?
Millions.
Ooh,
Billions.
How did I get them? Theft?
Oh.
Murder? Embezzlement?
Most likely.
Do I have a wife? A mistress?
Everything.
All right, I'm ready.
Would you like to have some tea?
Is that good?
Very good for the voice. The Russians drink nothing but tea and they talk like anything.
You may take places. The trial is public. Your bell, if you please, Aurelia.
What if I need to ring for Irma?
Well, Irma can sit here next to me. If you need her, she can ring for herself. Conduct the accused to the bar. The court is now in session. Counsel for the defense. You may take the oath.
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God!
You're not a witness, you're an attorney. It is your duty to lie, conceal, and distort everything and slander everybody.
All right. I swear to lie, conceal, and distort everything, and slander everybody!
Quiet. Begin.
May it please the honorable, august, and elegant court.
Flattery will get you nowhere. That will do. The defense has been heard. Cross-examination. Oh.
Mr. President,
Madame,
do you know what you are charged with?
I can't for the life of me imagine. My life is an open book. My ways are known to all. I am a pillar of the church. I'm the sole support of the opera. My hands are spotless.
Oh, what an atrocious lie. Just look at him.
There is no need to insult the man, Aurelia. He is only lying to please you.
Be quiet, Constance. You don't get the idea at all. You have been charged with the crime of worshipping money.
Worshipping money?
Yes.
Me?
Will you plead guilty or not guilty? Which is it?
Why, Your Honor!
Yes or no?
Yes or no? No! I don't worship money, Countess. Heavens, no. Money worships me. It adores me. It won't leave me alone. It's damned embarrassing, let me tell you.
Kindly watch your language.
Defendant, tell the court how you came by.
Money first came to me when I was a mere child. A little golden-haired child in the bosom of my dear family. It came to me suddenly one day in the guise of a gold brick, which, in my innocence, I picked out of a garbage can while playing. I was horrified, as you can imagine. I immediately tried to get rid of it by swapping it for a little run-down one-track railroad, which, to my consternation, sold itself for 100 times its value. In a desperate effort to get rid of this money, I began to buy things. I bought the Northern Refineries, the Galleries Lafayette, and the Schneider Crusoe Munitions Works. And now I'm stuck with them. It's a horrible fate, but I endure it. I don't ask for your sympathy. I don't ask for your pity. All I ask is a little common human understanding.
I object! This wretch is trying to play on the emotions of the court.
The court has no emotions.
Everyone knows that the poor have no one but themselves to blame for their poverty.
Pardon me.
It's only just that they should suffer the consequences. So why is it the fault of the rich that they're rich?
hold on to it with such a death grip?
Me!
Yes.
You never part with a euro.
Yeah! Give the poor mute a cent. Me hold on to money? What slander, what injustice, what a thing to say to me in the presence of this honorable, august, and elegant court. I spend all my time trying to spend my money. If I have tan shoes, I buy black ones. If I have a bicycle, I buy a sports car. If I have a wife, I buy...
What?
I dispatch a plane to Java for a bouquet of flowers.
Oh.
I send a steamer to Egypt for a basket of figs. I send a special representative to New York to fetch me an ice cream cone, and if it's not just exactly right, back it goes! But no matter what I do, I can't get rid of my money. If I play 100 to 1 shot, the horse comes in by 20 lengths. If I throw a diamond into the sand, it comes back to me in the trout they served me for lunch. 10 diamonds, 10 trout. Well, do you suppose I could get rid of 40 millions by giving a cent to a mute? Is it even worth the effort?
He is right!
You see, my dear, at last there is somebody who understands me. Somebody who is not only beautiful, but extraordinarily sensitive and intelligent.
I object! Overruled!
I should be delighted to send you some flowers, Miss. Directly I am acquitted. What flowers do you prefer?
Roses.
You'll have a bale every morning for the next 5 years. Money means nothing to me.
And amaryllis.
I'll make a note. The lady understands, ladies and gentlemen. The lady is no fool. She's been around and she knows what's what. If I gave the mute a euro, 20 euros, 20 million euros, it still wouldn't make a dent in the 40 times 1,000 million euros I'm afflicted with. Right, little lady?
Right.
Oh, proceed.
Like on the stock exchange. You buy a stock. It sinks at once like a stone. But if I buy a stock, it turns around and soars like an eagle. If I buy it at 33, it goes to 1,000. It goes to 20,000. That's how I bought my 12 chateaux, my 24 villas, my 234 farms. That's how I endow the opera and keep my 12 ballerinas.
I hope every one of them deceives you every moment of the day.
How could they deceive me? Suppose they tried to deceive me with a male chorus, the general director, the assistant electrician, or the English horn. I own them all, body and soul. It would be like deceiving me with my feet.
Oh, don't listen, Gabrielle.
Listen to what?
No, I am incapable of jealousy. I have all the women, or I can have them, which is the same thing. I get the thin ones with caviar, the fat ones with pearls.
So you think there are no women with morals?
I mix morals with men. Delicious combination. I drip pearls into protests. I adorn resistance with rubies. My touch is jeweled. My smile, a Lamborghini. What woman can withstand me? I lift my little finger, and do they fall like leaves in autumn, like tin cans from a second-story window?
That's too much.
You see where money leads.
Of course, when you have no money, nobody trusts you. Nobody believes you. Nobody likes you. Because to have money is to be virtuous, honest, beautiful, and witty. And to be without is to be ugly, and boring, and stupid, and useless!
One last question. Suppose you find this oil you've been looking for. What do you propose to do with it?
I propose to make war! I propose to conquer the world!
You have heard the defense. Such as it is, I demand a verdict of guilty. 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 Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I?
Guilty.
What are you talking about? I am never guilty!
I demand you keep quiet.
I am never quiet!
Quiet in the name of the law.
I am the law! When I speak, that is the law! When I present my backside, it is etiquette to smile and to
I want with them.
Yes!
I have the right to exterminate them.
Yes! Court adjourned!
Congratulations, Randall. Completely impartial.
Had I known a little before, I could have done better. I could have prepared a little speech, like when I used to sell the miracle spot.
No need for that. You did very well extempore. The likeness is striking, and the style is reminiscent of de Gaulle.
Oh.
I predict a brilliant future for you. Goodbye, Aurelia. I will take our little Gabrielle home.
I'm going for a walk along the river. Dickie, there you are. And your ears all bloody. Have you been fighting again? Oh, dear.
See that she gets home all right, will you? She loses everything on the way in the queerest places. Her prayer book in the butcher shop. And her girdle in church.
No, Countess, my mazurka, remember?
Oh, Constance, wait a moment. Go ahead, begin.
Do you hear, mademoiselle, those musicians of hell?
Of course, it's La Belle Polonaise. Do you hear, mademoiselle, those musicians of hell? From Poland to France. Marvelous dance, so gracious, audacious, will you put it perchance?
Do you hear, mademoiselle, those musicians of hell? From Poland to France comes this marvelous dance, so gracious, audacious, will you put it perchance? Now my arm I entwine round these contours divine, so pure, so impassioned, which Cupid has fashioned. Let's dance the mazurka, that devilish measure, 'tis a joy that's reserved to the gods for their pleasure. Let's gallop, let's hop, with never a stop. Let our heads spin and turn, as the dance floor we spurn. There was never such pleasure as this. Let our heads turn and turn, as the dance floor we spurn. There was never such pleasure as this.
Goodbye.
Thank you, my friend.
My father sang that song. Dear mademoiselle, those musicians of hell.
It's time for your afternoon nap, Countess.
But what if they come?
I'll watch out for them.
Thank you very much. I am tired. Have you ever seen a trial end more happily in your life?
Lie down and close your eyes a moment.
Is it you, Adolphe Berthaud?
It's only Pierre.
Don't lie to me, Adolphe Berthaud. These are your hands. Why must you complicate things always? Say that it's you.
Yes, it is I.
Would it cost you so much to call me Aurelia?
It is I, Aurelia.
Why did you leave me, Adolphe Berthaud? Was she so very lovely, this Georgette of yours?
No, you were 1,000 times lovelier.
Oh, but she was clever.
No, she was stupid.
Was her soul then that drew you? When you looked in her eyes, you saw visions of heaven, perhaps.
I saw nothing.
It's the way it is with men. They love you because you're beautiful and clever and soulful. And at the first opportunity, they leave you for someone who is plain and dull and soulless. But why does it have to be like that, Adalberto? Why?
Why, Aurelia?
I know very well she wasn't rich. Because that time I saw you on the market, you snatched the only good melon right from under my nose. Your cuffs. Oh, my poor love. Your cuffs were badly fitted.
Well, yes, she was poor.
Was poor. Is she dead then? If it's because she's dead that you've come back to me, then no. Go away. I will not take their leavings from the dead. I refuse to inherit you.
She's quite well.
Your hands are still the same, Adalberto. Your touch is young, firm. I forgot most everything else, but I remember that. I can see why you'd rather not come near me when my eyes are open. It's thoughtful of you.
Yes, I've aged.
Not I. I'm young. Because I haven't had to live down my youth like you. I have it with me still. It's fresh and beautiful, isn't it? But I think that when you walk now in the park at Cologne with Georgette...
There's no longer a park at Cologne.
Is there a park at St. Cloud? Is there a park at Versailles? I've never been back to see. But I think that if those trees could have moved, they would have walked away in disgust the day you went there with Georgette.
Well, they did. Now many are left.
You take her also, I suppose, to hear Denise?
Well, no one hears Denise anymore.
I was on my way home from Denise. Adalberto. I took your hand for the first time because it was windy. It was late. Never set foot in that street again. I go the other way around. It's not always easy, especially in winter when there's ice. One is quite apt to fall. Often do.
Oh, my darling, please forgive me.
No. No. I will never forgive you. It's very bad taste to take her to the very same places we had been together.
All the same, I swear, Aurelia.
Don't swear. I know what you did. You gave her the very same flowers. You bought her the same chocolates. But has she any left? No. I have all your flowers still. I have 12 chocolates. No. No, I will never forgive you as long as I live.
I always loved you, Aurelia.
You love me? Oh. Are you too dead, Adalberto?
No! I love you. I shall always love you, Aurelia.
Yes. I know. That much I've always known. I knew it the moment you left Adolf, and I knew nothing could ever change it. Georgette is in his arms now, yes. But he loves me. Tonight he's taken Georgette to hear Denise, yes, but he loves me. I know it. He never loved her. Do you think I believe for 1 minute that absurd story about her running off with the osteopath? Of course not. You didn't love her, so of course she obviously stayed with you. You will never get rid of her, Alberto. Because you don't love her.
I need your pity, Aurelia. I need your love. Please, don't forget me.
Farewell, Adalberto. Let go my hand and give it to Pierre. Here? It's you. Is he gone?
Yes, Countess.
didn't hear him leave. Oh, he knows how to make a quick exit, that one. Good heavens. Where did you find it?
In the wardrobe, Countess, when I took off the mirror.
Oh, was there a purple felt shopping bag with it?
Yes, Countess.
And a little child's sewing box?
No, Countess.
Oh, they're frightened now. They're trembling for their lives. Well, you see what they're doing. They're returning everything that they've stolen. I never opened that wardrobe, of course, on account of the old woman who lives in the mirror, but I don't have to open it to see what's in it. Up until this morning, that wardrobe was empty, but now, you see. Dear me. How stupid they are. The only thing I really miss is that little sewing box. They stole it from me when I was a child. They haven't put it back. You're sure?
What was it like?
It was green cardboard with white paper lace and gold stampings. I got it for Christmas the year I was 7. They stole it the next day. Cried my eyes out every time I thought of it. Until I was 8.
It's not there, Countess.
The thimble was gilt. I swore I would never use another. Look at my poor fingers.
They've kept the thimble, too.
Splendid. Then I am under no obligation to be merciful. Put the boa around my neck, Pierre. I want them to see me wearing it. They'll think it's a real boa.
Here they come, Countess. You were right. It's a procession. The streets are full of limousines and taxis.
I will receive them. Oh, don't worry. There is nothing to be frightened. Irma, did you remember to add?
Yes, Countess, there it is.
You might as well add what's left of the tea. Now don't forget, I am supposed to be deaf. I want to be able to hear what they're thinking. I don't have to be merciful, but after all, I do want to be just. Vichyssoise!
This way, Mr. President. Follow me, please.
This way?
The Countess
I'll
is
be
expecting you. The Countess is quite deaf, gentlemen. You'll have to shout.
Oh, good.
The President of the Board of Directors.
I had a premonition, madam, when we first saw one another, that we should meet again. I want to thank you for your trust. You can place yourself in our hands with complete confidence.
Louder, I don't think the old trot can hear you.
Right. I have a letter here, madam, in which...
Louder, louder.
Right. Is it true that you have located oil? Oil! Oil!
Oh!
Sign here.
What is it? I haven't my glasses.
Your contract.
Oh, thank you very much.
What is it actually?
Oh, don't worry, we'll pick it up on the way out,
That
and it's
makes
a
no
waiver
sense.
of all right.
Nice.
Witness.
Witness.
Notarize.
Notarize.
Now, madam, if you would be so kind as to show us the well, this package is yours.
What is it?
Pure gold.
Oh.
24 carats worth.
Oh.
For you.
Thank you very much. Oh, it's heavy.
We're not really going to give that to her, are we?
Oh, don't worry, we have 100,000 of them. Now, is this the way?
That is the way.
Now, just one moment, Mr. President. After me, if you don't mind. And careful those cigars. It is oil, after all.
Just a moment. Did either of you happen to bring a little child's sewing box?
Not forget it.
Or a little gold thimble?
Not me.
Not us.
What a pity.
Can we go down now?
Yes! You may go down. Now watch your step.
Countess, the prospectors are here.
More than one?
Yes.
Send them down.
This way, please.
I smell something. Who's that?
The Countess, she's quite deaf.
Good. Oil?
Oil! Traces, puddles,
Pools. Gusher.
Characteristic odor?
Chanel No. 5.
Oh.
Nectar, undoubtedly the finest, rarest one. 60 gravity crude, straight gasoline, yeah! How found? By blast, drill,
By finger.
sign here.
What is it?
Agreement for dividing the profits.
What is it?
Application to a lunatic asylum. Down there.
Down there.
Who's crazy now?
Sucker!
It's dark down
Countess, the
here.
members of the media are here.
The rest of the machine. Send it down.
This way, ladies.
Do you know where the oil is?
I don't. And there's an anchor woman. Hold still. The Countess is quite deaf, ladies. You'll have to shout.
You don't
Oh,
say.
wait.
Delighted to make the acquaintance of so charming and beautiful a lady.
Louder, she can't hear you.
What a face! Madame, I am the press. You know my power. I fix all values. I set all standards. Your entire future depends on me.
How do you do?
We could charge the old bitch. How about 30?
40, 60.
All right, 75. Sign here, Countess. This contract pays you for this interview.
That is the entrance.
The entrance to what?
The oil well.
Oh, I don't need to see that, Madame.
You need to see it.
No, I don't need to see it to talk about it. I can imagine it. An oil well is an oil well. That's oil we need to know on Earth. That's oil we need to know.
But if you don't see it, how can you be sure the oil is there?
If it's there, well and good. If it's not, by the time I'm through, it will be. You underestimate the creative aspect of the media, Madame. I warn you, if you insist on rubbing my nose in this oil, it'll cost you this contract.
It is worth it.
You see, madame, we of the media can refuse a lady nothing.
Especially such a lady.
It seems that even fountains of oil have their nymphs. I can use that somewhere. That's a wrap. Countess, there are some strange ladies coming.
Oh, show them down.
Madame!
Who are you?
We are the most powerful pressure group in the world.
We are the ultimate dynamic, the main spring of all combinations.
Nothing succeeds without our assistance. Is that the well, madame?
That is the well.
Put out your cigarette, dear. We don't want any explosions. Not with my new eyelashes.
Just a minute! Just a minute!
Wait a minute, who are you?
Excuse me, I'm in a hurry.
But,
It's my only chance.
but,
Wait for me, my money! My money!
fishy squaws. My gold brick. They've stolen my gold brick. Oh, let them take their god with them.
What's happened? They've gone. They vanished.
They evaporated, Irma. They were wicked. Wickedness evaporates.
Oh, Countess, the air is pure, the sky is clear!
Countess, everything's changed! Now you can breathe again, now you can see!
Oh, life is beautiful again!
Countess, the pigeons are flying. They don't have to walk anymore. They're flying. The air is like crystal, and fresh grass is sprouting from the pavements.
Juggler, you can throw your torches as high as you want, they won't go out.
Out on the street, utter strangers are shaking hands, they don't know why, and handing each other almond butter.
Oh, my friend.
Countess, we thank you. Countess, you freed us.
From now on, there will be no hungry cats, and we will tell the Duchess her dog's right name.
Countess, we thank you. From now on, every terrace will be watered, and the sewers will be fragrant of jasmine. Sadness flies on the wings of the morn. From the heart of the dark comes the light.
Countess, we thank you. We too are freed at last. We are the Adolphe Berthos of the world. We are no longer timid. We are no longer weak. From this day on, we shall hold fast to what we love. For your sake, henceforth, we shall be handsome, and our cups forever immaculate and new. Countess, we offer you this melon, and with it our hearts. Will you do us the honor to be our wife?
Too late. Too late. Too late.
Too late, Countess?
Too late for what?
Too late for them. On the 21st of April, 1936, the most beautiful Easter in the memory of man. It wasn't too late. And on the 5th of September, 1938, the day they caught the trout and broiled it on the open fire by the brook at Villeneuve, it was not too late. It was even not too late on August 28th, 1940, the day that man came to Paris with his car. But they did nothing. And they said nothing. And nothing. Kiss each other, you two, in this very instant.
You mean
You mean?
the Countess?
It's been 3 hours since you met and known and loved each other. Kiss each other quickly. Oh, he hesitates. Look at him, he trembles. He's afraid of happiness. How like a man. Irma, kiss him. Kiss him. If two people who love each other let an instant come between them, it grows. It becomes a month, a year, a century. It becomes too late. Kiss him, Irma. Kiss him while there's time, or in a moment his hair will be white. There will be another madwoman in Paris. Make her kiss him. All of you. If only you had had the courage to do that 30 years ago. How different I would be today. Dear mute, be still. Your words dazzle our eyes, and Irma is too busy to translate. There you are. The world is saved. And you see how simple it all was. There is never anything so wrong in this world that a sensible woman can't fix it in the course of an afternoon. But next time, don't wait until things begin to look black. The minute you notice something, tell me at once.
We will, Countess. We will.
o'clock. My poor cats will be starving. What a bore it would be for them if humanity had to be saved every afternoon. They don't live much of it as it is.
You hear, mademoiselle, those musicians of hell.
Paris everywhere.
Their heads spin and turn. I always say, come see, come saw.
Every moment of the year.
As the dance floor we spurn, there was never such pleasure as this.
Paris in the springtime.
I love Paris! Let our heads spin and turn, as the dance floor we spurn. There was never such pleasure as this. Let our heads spin and